Alright. It's recording, everything's working. So, I've been using a little tutorial on Pokemon. Nothing fancy here. So, if you're doing it yourself, you're not going to do a jetpack. Just because you're gonna obviously want to get back to turn on your magnet. You could do a no magnet jump to get back here, but you know that could be risky. You don't want to take that risk. Just bring a jetpack with you. Yeah, I do have Imperial on just to pause time and stuff. But yeah, do that right now. Spawning, so I don't have to deal with that either. But the key presses are pretty simple. They should be on screen. Since I got that on OBS, but pretty simple. There's a couple of different ones you could do. I want to show you the normal one, so that obviously you can do that. You want to get in your cruiser. You want to hold your brake, like I'm doing. And then you want to set it to drive, and then you're going to want to do 1, 2, 3. You're going to want to hold your brake once you stop doing all your jumps. You want to hold your brake. Otherwise, you might die, and you know that wouldn't be very cool, would it? That wouldn't be very cool. So I'll jump back, and then. I guess this could also be a little bit of normal jump. Just as since I can do that time to get back. And I guess I can put a little bit of jetpack knowledge in there. So when you're going up with the jetpack, most people are just gonna hold it down like that to go up. But if you want to go up faster, my recommendation, you hold down temporarily and then jump. You'll gain a lot of altitude from your jump, and you won't need the force to get off the ground from the jetpack, so you'll actually kind of shoot up a little bit. Yeah, it just could be a little useful. My strategy for getting out of here, like out of this general spot once you're in here, right? Once you're all the way in here, I like to straighten out my wheel once I get in here, so when I get in later, I don't have to worry about it, but I like to get back. And sometimes you'll slide this easily, sometimes you won't. I like to turn the wheel in one direction. If I don't see myself moving a lot more, or see myself moving less, I'm going to tilt the wheel in the other direction until I start seeing myself move more, and then I'll correct. There I did it a little too much, as you can see. I'm going to just want to kind of feel it. So I like to set it this way, go faster, turn it a little. So just press the brake a little bit, slow yourself down. And then get in a reasonable position like this. So I'm going to tilt my wheel straight. You don't have to. 2 jumps, 1 jump, 1 jump. And there we go. Back on the magnet. Now for the second eclipse jump you could do, you could drop it, obviously. So as you maneuver, put it into drive, 3 jumps, S jump, and then a W jump quickly. This jump can be a little bit more risky. There's a chance you could die from a rock being here, and if you do it a little too quick, you can die. Now if you do it a little bit more spaced out, unless there's a rock or an old bird or something in the way, you won't die doing it. I like to do it a little quick because it gets me a little bit of a better lineup. But if you do your S jump and then you wait a little bit longer to do your W jump, you'll be perfectly fine. It doesn't change anything. You'll bounce off the wall, which is a little more ideal. Or you might skid, which is still fine. Because sometimes if you jump the way I did it, you can clip. I found that you can kind of clip against the wall, and then the cruiser will flip, and then it'll explode. So, you know, be a little cautious. Same could happen with your normal cruiser jump with rocks, but obviously this one has a little bit bigger of a risk of taking damage there. Back, I'll show you this third one. I actually just recently made, so it's not particularly refined. It's not very refined jump. There is a 4 jump. There is a 4 jump cruiser jump. I'm not particularly the greatest at it, so I wouldn't really particularly want to teach people to do it. I'm not good at it. I just be teaching you the completely wrong way to do it. So I just leave that to the other people and do it. But this last jump, kind of weird. I don't recommend you do it as your normal eclipse jump, but you can. So you go into drive. I'm just gonna shift a little bit here. So you go into drive, and you're gonna want to go a little something like this. You will make it pretty much every time, or you should make it every time if you do it right. Key presses, I'll admit, they're a little weird. They're a tad bit strange. I will admit so, they are a tad bit strange. But that's kind of just how it goes. So I'll go back and just do one more normal little jump just to show you. So put it in 2 park. You always want to have that wheel straight so you don't shift too much when you get off. But really, honestly, that's not too big an issue, I would say. Because it's, I mean, you could always reset the day if you find its eclipse so that you can have that perfect wheel lineup if you really wanted to. Obviously, you know, if I keep going back and forth, which I do a lot as practice, if you were wanting to practice, that's just how I practice your jumps, it's just going back and forth. But I would say then you really do have to worry about that alignment a little bit. As long as you get in though and quickly put your brake on, it shouldn't make a difference. You know, just prove it right now. Put it 90 degrees, wheels are clearly not, well, I mean, they appear straight, but let me do it normal. So here should be normally straight. Yep, they're straight, 90 degrees. They don't appear 90, but it'll be. So yeah, you can kind of see it tilted. Alright, so we drop it down. As long as I put my hand on the brake pretty quick, shouldn't matter. And then obviously, that, and you'll be done. Let's just I don't know if you'll find this useful. Brett has a good tutorial on his channel. I know there's another tutorial, and he mentions it in his own video on it. If you're wondering where the eclipse jump is in his video, just because I actually didn't realize that he had an eclipse jump in that video, it's at the end. It's the same one I did just now at the beginning. Same eclipse jump, same thing. I guess we can just do one more normal jump just to get it there. So obviously, like I said, you can just tilt it back and forth. That's what I do. I have it in drive. I just keep it in drive. You can do this in reverse. It'll obviously be the opposite directions that you'll do it. But you'll get the hang of it the same way. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Didn't turn on the magnet there, but you know, all is well.